Beneath the sky where daylight fades, the distant hymn begins to rise, a silver thread through silent halls, where moonlight darkens crimson tides.
Shadows tremble at the where time dissolves its ancient will, and through the veil of drifting ash, the voices calling whisper still.
Sing the hymn of the eclipse veil, where the night forgets its dawn. Let the embers guide our longing, where the old world still lives on.
Sing the hymn of the eclipse veil through the hush of hollow air, for the past still lingers there. Upon the stone the code remains of vows once spoken in the dark, a fading trace of candle flame, a silent oath beneath the spark.
Across the arch of quiet rooms, the dust of ages slowly falls, and from the edges of the gloom, the echo gathers soft and small.
No sorrow leads this calling, no fear beneath the night, only voices gently falling, like lanterns without light.
Sing the hymn of the eclipse veil, where the twilight never breaks. Let the ancient breath awaken what the frozen silence takes.
Across the halls where silence breathes, a fragile echo starts to rise. No lantern glows, no shadow moves, yet something stirs beyond the skies. Its presence lingers in the dust, a memory shaped in fading lines. And through the hush of fractured stone, a distant voice returns in signs. Sing the elegy of the wandering spirit, where the old world fades from sight. Let the dimmest spark awaken what was lost beneath the night. Sing the elegy of the wandering spirit, where forgotten vows remain soft as ashes in the rain. Along the stair of broken halls, a whisper crawls across the floor. No footsteps fall, yet warmth persists where it once waited near the door. A silver feather rests in dust, a token of a vanished flame. And in its glow we faintly trace the shape of someone without name. We do not call with sorrowed cry, nor plead for mourning hand. We simply breathe the name once held in gardens now gone to sand. Sing the elegy of the wandering spirit, where the candles cease to burn. Let the breath of fading memory guide its path toward return. Sing the elegy of the wandering spirit, and let silence bend its way to the soul no longer strays. Beneath the granite crypt we stand, where silent echoes breathe the dust. The lantern's glow is fading low, yet still it burns with ancient trust. Across the stone a whispered tone unfolds where fallen names reside, and through the hall of shallow light the solemn chant begins to rise. Sing the litany beneath the granite crypt, where forgotten voices wait. Let the hollow air awaken what the dusk cannot litany beneath the granite crypt, where the embers softly stay, guarding vows that will not fade away. Of fractured stone, a trembling warmth begins to stir. The air grows still as years dissolve, yet fragments of the past occur. The dust of centuries ascends, reshaping shadows into form. And in the hush of sacred cold, the chant resumes, both faint and warm.
No sorrow bends this calling, no silence breaks its thread. For memory breathes within us, a flame long left for dead. Sing the litany beneath the granite crypt, where the night forgets the dawn. Let the softened glow of embers guide the path we walk upon. Sing the litany beneath the granite crypt, where the vow remains unbroken, in a hymn that still is spoken.
Beneath the granite crypt we stand, where silent echoes breathe the dust. The lantern's glow is fading low, yet still it burns with ancient trust. Across the stone, a whispered tone unfolds where fallen names reside, and through the hall of shallow light, the solemn chant begins to rise. Sing the litany beneath the granite crypt, where forgotten voices wait. Let the hollow air awaken what the dusk cannot abate. Sing the litany in crypt, where the embers softly stay, guarding vows that will not fade away. Along the walls of fractured stone, a trembling warmth begins to stir. The air grows still as years dissolve, yet fragments of the past occur. The dust of centuries ascends, reshaping shadows into form. And in the hush of sacred call, the chant resumes, both faint and warm. No sorrow bends this calling, no silence breaks its thread. For memory breathes within us, a flame long left for dead. Sing the litany beneath the granite crypt, where the night forgets the dawn. Let the softened glow of embers guide the path we walk upon. Sing the litany beneath, where the vow remains unbroken, in a hymn that still is spoken. Sing the litany beneath the granite crypt. Sing the litany beneath the granite crypt. Sing the litany beneath the granite crypt. Sing the litany beneath the granite crypt.
Beneath the stone where embers sleep, where faded warmth no longer stirs, a single spark remains in silence, lost beneath the weight of years.
The echoes breathe along the wall, a trembling hush that once was flame. And though the light has slipped away, its fragile memories still remain.
Calling the ember that will not wake through the dust of a hollow shrine. Let the fading glow remember what the winter could not bind. Calling the ember that will not wake, where the dimmest light is sown, deep beneath the earth and stone.
No fire bends the shadow there, no lantern sways against the wind. Yet something soft beneath the soul still waits for someone to begin.
A quiet breath beneath the frost, a vow unbroken in the ground. And through the darkened corridor, the echo forms a solemn sound.
Not a cry of mourning sorrow, nor a plea against the night. Only hands upon the altar, seeking remnants of the light.
Telling the ember that will not wake, though its radiance long has flown. Let the hush of ancient memory guide it back from halls unknown. Calling the ember that will not wake till the silence bends away, and the warmth returns someday. whispers the dust, like names forgotten, half engraved.
The lantern smoke ascends in rings across the arch of empty air, and something soft begins to move, a breath of what once lingered there.
Hear the voices in the hollow sepulchre, where the twilight gathers slow. Let the murmurs trace the embers through the night beneath the snow.
Hear the voices in the hollow sepulchre, where the old vows still remain,
In a faded, haunted strain.
along the altar, worn and cold, a faint reflection flickers red, though no flame stands upon the stone. Its warmth endures where footsteps bled. Dust dissolves into the dark, like memory swallowed by the choir. Yet through the softened veil of time, the quiet shapes of sound revive.
No morning stirs these echoes, no sorrow woven in their tone, only fragments of a promise kept in chambers carved from bone. Hear the voices in the hollow sepulchre, calling gently through the gloom. Let the remnants of their singing fill the shadowed altar room.
Hear the voices in the hollow sepulchre, where the past still draws its breath,
In a hymn untouched by death. broken marble sleeps below. A trembling hush begins to move, like a lantern smoke in fading glow.
The hollow air remembers names engraved in dust beneath the stone, and in the cracks of weathered walls, a distant breath returns alone.
Through the veins of the forgotten sepulchre, let the fading embers rise. Where the vow was laid in shadow, let the ancient truth abide.
Through the veins of the forgotten sepulchre, where the cold has sealed the flame, still the whisper speaks our name. Pillars worn by time, the silver ash begins to fall. A solemn thread of warmth survives, a spark beneath the frozen hall.
Though the night resists the dawn, the memory burns behind the veil, as though its pulse still binds the past through silence carved in fragile pale.
Not sorrowed, not broken, but quietly preserved. A vow beneath the ages, unspoken yet preserved.
Through the veins of the forgotten sepulchre, where the choir dimly stirs, let the remnants of the ember rise through dust that time prefers. Through the veins of the forgotten sepulchre, where the ancient ashes gleam, we return within the dream. Where hollow pillars hold the night, and stone remembers fading breath, a solemn tone begins to rise, a quiet hymn untouched by death. Dust is woven through the light, where silver smoke ascends and breaks, and through the vaulted empty hall, a distant echo slowly
and stone remembers fading breath. A solemn tone begins to rise, a quiet hymn untouched by death. Dust is woven through the light, where silver smoke ascends and breaks, and through the vaulted empty hall a distant echo slowly wakes. Sing the chant of the hollow pillars, where the echoes carve the air. Let the embered hush awaken all the names forgotten there. Sing the chant of the hollow pillars till the silence bends aside. Let the ancient vows abide. Across the fractured altar stones, a trembling heat begins to glow, as though beneath the ashen frost a buried oath still moves below. The lantern flame is faint but warm, it paints a circle around the ground, and in that dim and sacred ring a woven choir forms its sound. No flame must roar of thunder, no cry of mortal pride, for the whispers hold more power than any voice outside. Sing the chant of the hollow pillars, where the night no longer weeps. Let the last remaining embers guard the vow that darkness keeps. Sing the chant of the hollow pillars till the silent halls are stirred by an inward sound.
Beneath the sky